Good morning, Memphis. Erev Tov, Ma'alot. My name's Wayne Firestone. I'm the Executive Director of the America-Israel Friendship League. It's great to be with everyone here on Sunday, here in the United States. This is Memorial Day weekend, and all of us, for lots of different reasons, are filled with lots of different emotions. For those of us just waking up, we're also probably a little bit hungry, so we've got a real treat for you today. But first and foremost, let's honor this holiday. For any of you that are holding someone's memory or honor for their service to America, please feel free to send a thought, a prayer, a name, anything that'll help you celebrate and participate in a meaningful way for Memorial Day weekend. We're glad that you're here with us. We have been running this series. We actually started the COVID phase of our webinars on a Sunday webinar with two cooks. One was in Chicago, one was in Tel Aviv, and we're continuing that tradition today with two amazing cooks. One who is joining us from New Orleans. How can you talk about barbecue without having someone, James Cruze, telling us about how to make a rub? James Cruze, a pitmaster, actually the pitmaster, 2021 Memphis Barbecue World Champion. Man, you got a lot of like bragging rights. In Memphis, they know how to cook barbecue. But you're in New Orleans with us today at Central City Barbecue in New Orleans. You're outside, the birds are chirping, you were up all night, you were up early in the morning starting to smoke to prepare for us. James, I know you have no voice left, but you're with us. We're so glad. We're so appreciative to have you here. And we're going to meet you. We want to hear, not just from the birds, we want to hear your story. We want to hear about what you've been cooking. Ziv Ruder, what chutzpah? Smoking barbecue in Israel? We're so glad to hear that this tradition has made its way to the Mediterranean, and indeed, you are the man. You are the head of the smoker. Hama Ashana. It's the name of your restaurant. I may have butchered the pronunciation. It is the smoker. You run the smokehouse. You have learned and applied tools from your dad. You've actually literally tools to make barbecue. We want to hear about that. We want to hear what it means. Is this the what is this? Tell us about your smoker. Why don't we start with you, Ziv, right up front? Tell us about where you're at, what we're gonna, how you got into this business, and how you met this guy on the other side of the world in New Orleans.
Maybe I'll show you a quick view about the smoker that I built with my dad. This is the one, the big one.
Whoa.
And it's evening time here. We're gonna serve some people in like, I don't know, in 1 hour or so. Oh, nothing here. But it's you don't see much. I'll show you in a quick view about the restaurant. Most of it is just an open yard. There it is. People are coming in like an hour or so. And actually I have here, it's called matfuna in Arab. Here, I'm putting stuff on the ground. It's a bit dirty. I'm not sure if you can see it.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, so this is the restaurant. It's like a... Are you back? Well, it's not... I don't want to say fancy, but it's like a... Not really fine dining, but it's a nice restaurant. I don't serve sandwiches and stuff like that. You're coming for a meal on a 2 hours meal.
Well, it certainly looks fine to me, and it certainly looks like it's going to be festive there tonight. Do you have what are crowds look like over this past week?
Well, that's like you.
People are starting to come out.
What do you mean?
Do you have are those tables full yet?
Yeah. Everything that's added is full. We don't have any menu. It's like a fixed price, fixed menu. and we're gonna serve you seven different cuts for like maybe 2 hours. 2 hours and a half, depends.
Fantastic. Let me give James a chance to say hello and tell us a little about where he's cooking from today. And James, I know you're partially outdoors and you're still cooking. So tell us about where you are now and maybe a little bit out where you were last night. Go ahead.
So I'm in, this is one of the smaller pit rooms. This is where I shoot my YouTube videos. Yesterday we had to cater for 2,000 people at an oil refinery. So we started early, we started prepping during the week, but we started early yesterday morning and we wrapped up about 8 or 9 o'clock last night. And I got back here at 6 this morning to put the lamb on the smoker. I could take you to the other pit room where Dustin is wrapping up cooking for the day. You'd like to see that? It's the big pit room.
So maybe after we'll do the little tour, we'll come back to you, and I'm going to do my best to save your voice. I appreciate your giving us what you got left in your lungs. Was it a successful event? I don't know how you cook barbecue for 2,000 people, but that's probably the biggest barbecue you've had in a while, I assume.
Yes, it was very successful. I didn't lose my voice because of catering. I just got a little bit of a sinus infection the last few days, but I'll get over it. I've got a big event next weekend, a big competition, so just gotta tough it out. But yeah, I'm glad to be a part of this. This is gonna be fun.
Great. Ziv, can you tell us a little bit about how you met James and you know what it's like to be out there among the world barbecuers? Some of them here
actually,
in the United States.
I've met James. I think it was September 2 years ago. I made a tour, a smoking tour for me and a friend of mine. We went to Austin, actually, mostly, but we knew we were gonna check Louisiana, Korean food, and a friend of mine from Israel told me about James, and I emailed him and asked him to be there on the same week that I'm gonna be there, and I met him, and we had a nice click, and you know, I tested his food. He's probably going to be in Israel sometime, and we always talk about doing something together. And it was cool. The first time I've been in the States, it was maybe in 2000, and when I realized what smoking is all about, and found out about it and read about it. And I was living in Denver, Colorado for a year and a half. Then I checked things out, and when I came to Israel, I started to smoke myself. I've learned a lot from the internet, from YouTube, and I started my own business. And somehow everybody, you know, here started to smoke in the last 2, 3, 5 years, maybe.
So, James, one more question before we look at the recipes today. Tell us about this word "shiggin." You said you're in a competition next week, and I understand you guys are pretty competitive guys, and you don't like to give away secrets. You're entitled to your secrets, but what does it mean to be shiggin?
So shigging is, let's say I'm at a competition, and you decide to walk into my area, whether it be my competition trailer or the tent. And you just start looking around and just kind of seeing, you know, asking what this rub is or what that item is. So you're taking mental notes, just trying to take my ideas and then use it for yourself.
So it's espionage. Basically, it's espionage.
Yeah.
It's culinary espionage. Okay, I got it. All right.
Yeah.
So we know that only really good friends would actually share their recipes, and you know, our middle name is friendship. So today's episode on American Memorial Day is dedicated to actually walking the walk. We're not just talking the talk here. In a moment, we're going to see over the course of this hour that we're together, we're going to see Ziv's recipe being prepared by James, his rub, and James' recipe being prepared by Ziv. Now, how common or uncommon is that, guys? Do you must have enough trust in each other to share your recipes with each other, and then to be grateful enough to share it with our audience today. So, whose idea was this to begin with?
For what?
It was both of us.
Sharing recipes?
It was both of us.
Both of you.
Yeah. We decided, we had a talk, we thought what we can do that would be cool, and I have no problem actually sharing with James, and it's an honor for me to get his secret rub, barbecue rub, only one of them, but it's nice, and I'm sure it's going to be tasty, and there is a big difference between our seasoning and the American seasoning. Not a big difference, but I'm using using a lot of Middle Eastern flavors. And we picked the lamb because the lamb is kosher. The hogs, the pigs is not. So I smoke a lot of lamb, different cuts. And I have like an Israeli seasoning type. I'm using cardamom, I'm using eggnut, how do you call it? Not eggnut.
Nutmeg.
Nutmeg, yeah. And some cinnamon and cardamom. I'm not sure if you can see it.
Yep. Nice. Okay,
so a little bit different.
Why don't we take a look at the recipes? Ziv and James were good enough to share the recipes. And before you ask, yes, we are absolutely going to share this recipe. So this is the Mediterranean version that Ziv was starting to explain and show us some of the different seasonings. We're actually going to see some of the preparation. So tell us a little bit, James, about when you look at this recipe, what's new and what's different in preparing Ziv's Mediterranean pulled lamb.
The first thing I noticed was we don't use much cardamom or what's the other one? I can't see them.
Cumin, maybe?
No, we use a lot of cumin.
Yeah.
We don't use much cardamom, and then the other one was I can't think what the name of it is. I can't even see it on the screen. What's the other C with the there's cinnamon in there.
Coriander.
Oh, the clove. The clove.
No, coriander.
Okay.
I couldn't think of it. Yeah. We don't use much coriander here. The screen's small. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
And how about on the preparation side, aside from the ingredients? Is the preparation similar or different?
The preparation is the same.
Same preparation.
The same temperature, more or less. We wrap it at the same time. Using Celsius, and is using Fahrenheit. But it's the same.
Nice. Okay. So a good barbecuer can set up shop pretty much anywhere in the world, and if he's got the right equipment and for preparation, and use some of the local spices to make a different rub.
Right. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And until we can get you guys together physically, hopefully in Israel, since you've already been to Austin and to New Orleans, hopefully we can get James to Israel sometime this year. You think he'd like it? You think he'd like cooking in your place?
Oh, I know he would.
Okay.
He would love my tools.
All right. Now let's take a look at this American pulled lamb barbecue sandwich. What did you think when you first looked at it, Ziv?
Well, it's not. It's actually more or less like a beef barbecue sandwich, like the classical beef barbecue, but it's going with the lamb, and I'm kind of interested how it's going to be. And I've never tried it. I have some rubs that with sugar, but not really. And I think it's going to be nice because it is nice. And we're going to test it. It's going to be ready in like 10-15 minutes.
That's great. So both of you, tell us, James, you said you started early this morning, even though you had a late night event with 2,000 people. what's the normal process for you to get up, you know, in terms of, you know, starting to cook and prepare a meal like this?
This is pretty easy. What I did, we have big commercial smokers here at the restaurant, but for this one, I used a smaller smoker. In fact, I'll show you real quick. This little guy right there, the drum smoker. So since I was only cooking just a little bit of meat, I didn't have to use a big smoker for it. And that's the kind of smoker, it takes maybe 20 minutes for it to fire up and then put it on. So it's an easy cook.
Yeah, just yesterday he smoked for 2,000 people. Now it's one cut, nothing.
By the way, one of our viewers wrote in that they're a proud member of the Kansas City Barbecue Society. What do you guys think of Kansas City barbecue?
I like it. In fact, while we're talking, someone just sent me a text, asked me if I signed up for the American Royal yet, which I need to do that, which is one of the other world championships. So I'll be there later this year as well.
That sounds great. Ziv, did you make it that far? Or you stuck to the South?
No, I've never been in Kansas yet. On my next tour, actually, I want to go to the east side, North Carolina stuff, some vinegar seasoning and stuff like that, spicy. And I think I'm going to go this way, but I'm not sure.
Great. Well, we've got people on the line here today from all parts of the country and actually from around the world. So we'll see if we can spread the love of barbecue, maybe to some new places as well. Ziv, first question to you from one of the visitors, and then I know you have a little video to show us of your actual preparation of this dish that you worked on earlier, which will help us see what's cooking now and will be ready in 10 or 15 minutes. Where physically are you? Your restaurant? Where is it located?
It's a small village called Yanuv. It's like half an hour north than Tel Aviv.
Half an hour north of Tel Aviv.
Yeah, 30 minutes north.
Okay, and there's room tonight for a table if somebody wants to come?
No, for tonight, no.
All right, so don't rush over anybody.
Yeah.
Start working on the
give us a call before.
He's booked. You got to call in advance.
Yeah.
That's a good side. Does it feel good to be having?
Actually, we're hosting only booked before. I'm not sure how to say that, but we don't get random people.
Got it.
You need to book a table. We need to prepare for that, and we're ready.
All right. What if James? What about you? Do you take drop-ins these days, or only doing special events?
No, we take drop-ins. We can seat 400 people in the restaurant, so we don't. I mean, that's with the patio. We have 2 patios. But we never fill up that many people. There's not that many people who want barbecue. I'm kidding. No, we. I
was there. It was busy.
Yeah, we take large groups. They can walk in. We could take up to 30, 40, 50 people if they wanted to walk in.
And what's the largest group that just sort of showed up and you suddenly said, "Boy, I hope we have enough. I hope we have enough meat."
I don't know, maybe 50 showed up.
All right. So Ziv, we're going to start. We'll take a look at some of your preparation style, and we want to see, James, what you think of what he's doing with his rub.
I love it. What? I'm showing the video? Oh.
Yeah. Here we go.
James, barbecue rub, and this is the lamb. Putting some oil. Make sure the rub is gonna stick on it. Rubbing it.
the crust. I'm going to put this in the smoker for like 3 or 4 hours. And then we're going to check it. Thank you.
All right, James, what do you think looking at it?
He's on mute.
All right, here we go. I think he knows what he's doing. He looks like he's done that before.
Ziv, how did it feel cooking somebody else's recipe?
No, it's nice. It's an honor, actually. It's nice. It's different. You know, we're doing the same rub, the same thing every day, and just a small twist make everything different. Nice.
Okay. James, you want to tell us a little bit about what it was like preparing Ziv's recipe?
So when I got my lamb in and I saw Ziv's, he had one whole lamb neck. Mine came in some smaller pieces. In fact, I'll show you. I mean, they're wrapped in foil right now, but I got about 5 of these and one big one. So yeah, it was an easy prep. There's got a good amount of fat content on it, which is going to render down, make it a juicy piece of meat. I made his rub that he gave me. I've got the rest of it in the shaker here. It's really good. It's got a lot of flavors in it, a lot of herbs.
Yeah, you liked it?
I did. So the one thing that kind of threw me off a little bit, there was no salt and pepper in it. So me and Ziv talked about that. He said he adds the salt and pepper after to taste. And so I like that. I like that because you could dictate the amount of sodium and amount of heat you want in it in the final dish as well.
All right, there was our first professional tip from the exchange that may be holding off on the salt and pepper until after might have some culinary advantages to it. So anything else you want to maybe show? I know we have a short video that we're going to show that gives you a feel for the restaurant. And again, I know the volume was a little hard to hear on that, but we wanted you to get a feel for what some of the initial cooking looked like. Anything else you want to show us now, James, in terms of your preparation and, from the dish you did with Ziv?
Well, I don't have anything as far as video on prep. Like I said, I can walk you through the steps.
Sure.
Basically, I made his rub first. I thought it was really good. And then I had the 6 lamb pieces and put a nice dust. Now, the difference with the way he rubs his versus myself, I dust mine on. So I go over the top like this all the way around instead of patting it in. Then I'll let it sit for a good 15 minutes and let the meat sweat, which kind of helps build the bark around it as well. And during that time is when I got this guy fired up. That's called a gateway drum smoker. It's a barrel smoker. I'll show you the inside real quick. You see? Yep. The coals are in the bottom. And I smoked it over post oak, which is a Texas style oak. Yeah, and that was pretty much it. I mean, it's just like any other low and slow smoking. Rub it, let it sweat, put it on. Since that one is more a little direct heat, I did flip them about every half hour before I wrapped them in foil. Other than that, it's a super easy recipe to follow. He gives really good instructions in that recipe card. There's really, I mean, anyone could do this. You just get your lamb or chicken or pork, if you eat pork, put that rub on it, smoke it, wrap it, and then whenever we get started with the dish, I'll show you how he had me prep it, which I've got all of my prep stuff here for the dish itself.
Beautiful. Yeah, tell us a little about the prep there. That looks nice.
All right, I'm gonna try to look at this from an angle. So I decided to go with some pita, and when we're about 10 minutes out from building a sandwich, I'll put those pita on that grill to kind of warm them up. But what I have here, I've got some coarse black pepper, some kosher salt, some dried minced up mint. We've got some tahini sauce, iceberg lettuce, lemon, some parsley, onions, and then some hot chili peppers right here. So I'm gonna be careful with these peppers.
Oh, don't be careful. Good. I think you gotta, Ziv. How hot?
I think in New Orleans, everybody eating good can eat more hot chili peppers. Right? You have this thing. I remember like a big store with all different kinds of chili peppers. Like you like hot. Am I mistaken? I can't hear.
Oh,
James, you're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, we use a lot of more cayenne pepper here, and red pepper and black pepper. And the thing people think about New Orleans, they think that we eat a lot of really, really spicy food, when actually we eat more balanced heat. It's we like to balance these savory, salty, and spicy instead of being really hot. And I think people think that because of crawfish and all the seafood we cook is in a boiling water that's seasoned up, but we don't really eat a lot of hot food. We eat a lot of seasoned food.
So we do have a question from Ross in Montreal who wants to know what temperature you're actually smoking at. How hot is that hot?
I'm doing most of the smoking.
Is this for me or for Ziv?
Let's hear from both of you.
I'm smoking in about 110 degrees Celsius, which means it's 225, 230 in Fahrenheit.
And James, what's your temperature at?
I like 250 degrees
a little bit hot.
Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Okay. And now on the other hot, whose sauce is the spicier, the more? Do you need a little bit more constitution to be able to handle? Who's got between the two dishes? Which is the spicier hot dish?
I think James's rub is the more spicy. You got cayenne pepper. Mine does just black pepper.
Got it. Okay. So bear that in mind. Now we do have.
I didn't add any.
What's that?
I didn't add any spices to anything here other than those little chili peppers. There's serrano peppers is what I'm using.
Yeah.
So we have a question. We have several questions from Daphna is asking about what you all think between wood smoking versus gas smoking.
Oh, I'm going only wood. I'm using pecan wood.
Only wood?
I like wood. You go first, Ziv.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm using pecan wood, which is common here in my area, and I'm using charcoal this time. Like when the smoker just I'm using for like heating the oven, heating closet. Sorry. And on this time I don't use any more wood. Just let me show you. This is just charcoal, just to keep the food warm because people are about to get in like half an hour. But in the morning time, we're using pecan wood all day long, actually. Just in evening, we're using charcoal. And one other nice thing that in my restaurant, I don't have any frying oil. I don't have any electric oven. We have nothing. I'm using wood and fire, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, only the salad and the dessert not going in the smoker, but everything else, all the side dishes, like baked potatoes from the campfire and.
Well, we definitely have questions. First of all, people want to know how much meat you actually prepare in a day, on a regular work day.
Me?
Both.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to say it in kilo. It's like 100 kilos.
100 kilos for an evening, like for tonight. Tonight would be about 100 kilos.
No, tonight it's like an easy night, maybe 65, 70.
Okay, so 100 would be about 220 pounds. So 65 is going to be, little more than half, 155.
Does that make sense?
It does to my calculator.
Yeah.
my colleague who's calculating this. Okay,
yeah.
I'm definitely not that quick. James, I'm afraid to ask you this, but like, how much meat? How much meat was last night with 2,000 people?
Oh, that's a nice question.
Close to 2,000 pounds. Raw meat. Raw because you lose about 50%. So when it's cooked, I'll tell you this: when it was cooked, we did chicken, pork, and brisket, and it was about 350 pounds of each one. 350 pounds of cooked meat of each one, plus the sides.
All right.
How many smokers do you use? All of them? You open all the smokers?
We use about 3.
Really? Because they have like 6 or 5, if I remember right.
We have 5 in the big room, and then 3 more in here, but we don't use this one anymore. So we have 5 big smokers.
Let's talk a little bit before we show the progress on the meat itself, and we do have some questions. We have a number of questions that are coming in, but people want to know about the sides. So tell us a little bit, James, about what you think works well with your dish, that the recipe that you gave to Ziv. What kind of sides do you like to do with your dish?
The American recipe?
Yeah.
Okay. For a pulled, well, here we do a lot of pulled pork. We don't really pulled lamb, or you can do pulled chicken. So a pulled meat sides would probably be like potato salad, coleslaw, or on the cold side. Hot sides would be, baked beans and corn on the cob, things like that. We're gonna keep it pretty straightforward. Non-offensive flavors, macaroni and cheese, things like that.
Did you say not offensive flavors?
Yeah, so that's a term I use. What I mean by offensive flavors, meaning it's not offensive in terms of upsetting someone, right? What I mean by that is flavors that go right down the middle. It's not going to be too spicy or too salty or too sweet or too savory. You're down the middle, so you're basically not offending taste buds. If that makes sense.
That makes sense. Just when I cook at home, I'm often accused of offensive flavors, so it's a little bit of a different feedback I'm getting. Ziv, tell us about what you like to have. You said before, when you were talking about the oils, salatim, salads.
Yeah, no, I'm saying actually with the lamb, I think rice is going great.
Rice?
Yeah, white rice. I'm doing here a garlic rice, but it's the same. It's white rice, more or less. And because the lamb is very fatty and it's juicy, and you want to eat something with it. And today I'm going to try it in sandwich, which is great. Mostly in the restaurant, we serve this with the side of the rice.
But what about the salads you were talking about, the salatim?
Yeah, what about the salad?
Well, tell us about them. I mean, I miss them. So there are those of us who, miss what you take for granted.
Yeah, I'm serving. I have pickles that my dad is doing for the last 6-7 years, and we have a basic salad. It's I'm not sure if I know in English all the words. It's got arugula, and
yes, very much.
Iceberg lettuce, and 1 second, I have some. Maybe somebody know how to say noniot? Jonathan, online. And
say it again.
Let me show you.
Okay. Radish, right.
Sorry. Radish and איפה יש לנו קולורבי? אין חדש אחד? Okay, never mind. So it's like a basic salad we're putting on the side. It's like more refreshing between the taste of stuff. We're using this with Good virgin olive oil with fresh lemon and some salt. And
Nice.
that's it.
I know. For you,
Very basic vinegar. Just you know, it's refreshing in the middle of the meal.
and that's a recipe you learned from your dad, you said.
What? No, for the salad,
Yeah,
it's basic.
basic.
Good
Okay.
quality, yeah. It's basic. It's oil, some acid, and salt.
Well, but I understand you have done some things together with your dad.
I've done everything with my dad. My dad built this smoker, and I'm just you know, the how do you say it, like the water boy. I just did the stuff, all this, and bring this, and I just paint some stuff. He did everything.
But he's proud of you, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But still in the restaurant, at home all the time. He was the one in charge on the jam and the pickles. That's the only thing he cooked at home. So he's still doing my pickles also. I can show you. It's nice. You can see that?
Oh, beautiful.
Place?
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing the pickles, and that's what we serve every day.
It looks like you got some Texas Longhorns on your trip.
Yeah. I got it here, but yeah. I should have drank some.
All right, James, tell us. You know, you're in this championship circle now. You got some bragging rights. Tell us tell us what these championships are like. How does one actually? Do you just show up and you know, cook your food on the spot? What are the judges looking for? Tell us a little about what it's like to have your food, you know, being judged in real time like that.
It's a little high pressure and intense at times, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. You're around a lot of friends and family. And the biggest thing that I tell people is you can't cook the food that you like. You have to cook what the judges like. So I'm not a fan of eating competition ribs, but the judges like them. And they're looking for, like I said, middle of the road flavors, sweet, salty, spicy, with an emphasis on sweet. They like a certain bite. You pick it up and bite it. It's got to have good, clean marks. But yeah, I mean, the key is just nailing texture and make sure the texture is correct and the flavor is, you know, is where you want it to be.
So in a moment, we're going to actually take a look at Ziv's restaurant, a little video clip that shows us what it's like when it's full. And if you want, James, maybe after that, if you want to show us around a little bit, to take us on a little tour, my good friend Julie in New Orleans is who knows a thing or two about good food in Louisiana and good food in Israel. Can't be that far from you. Where are you located in New Orleans?
We're downtown. We're about 8 blocks. I'm trying to fix this camera. We're about 8 blocks from the Superdome.
Okay.
Yeah, we're walking distance to the Superdome and the arena.
That's great. Okay, so we'll take a little walking tour for you in a minute, but first we're gonna pull up a video that we have of Ziv showing us around a little bit in the restaurant. We saw it before with preparation for tonight, but he did us some advanced work to show us what the facility is like. This is from an I-24 news segment.
In Israel, on the Independence Day, it's basically the holiday for meat or barbecue. So this is like a great opportunity to have a meeting, gathering around the barbecue. So basically we're making spare ribs, lamb spare ribs. I'm using sumac and lemon and mint. We're making a wet rub and we smoke it for like 6, maybe 7 hours. We call it a mashena. Mashena, it's basically smokehouse in Hebrew, and also the smoking pit itself, the smoker. Everything here is based on fire, wood fire. We have a smoking pit for fish. We have a smoking pit that buried under the ground. A little over 10 years ago, I was in the States, and I fell in love with this magic of smoking meat and find out that there is a lot of techniques to cook the meat for one simple, perfect bite. My connection to this is from the pheromonic side of me. I like to play with the fire, to sit by the pit. I love the low and slow idea of cooking. Most of the flavor comes from the smoke itself and the fire and all the ingredients that we use. It's Israeli, it's from the Holy Land. I think it's great, it's fresh. I love the flavors, kind of Middle Eastern flavors, the sour flavors and of the sumac and the lemon first, and the freshness of the mint. They're a compliment to the lamb.
Beautiful. That was something to see. I feel like I can almost smell it from here, and we haven't quite invented that app yet, but it looks like that smoker that your dad built behind you is getting a lot of good use. And the one that's underground, is that a different kind of flavor that it's able to generate?
Actually, I prefer the smoker. Well, the underground, it's called madfuna, which in Arab is buried.
Buried.
And the thing is, you put the wood, the charcoal, the wood, and when it gets, I don't know how to say, just like this, red and white, you put the meat with the thing on it, and you close it, and you put the blanket on it, and you put some mud, and just like sealed it, no chimney. So it's after 4 or 5 hours when it's taken down, the food is good. But it's not really, you cannot control the temperature. You know, whatever you put, that's what it is. You cannot change anything in the middle of cooking. You cannot check it. You just need to know how to do it, and that's it. But it's nice. It's nice when you're in the desert. At home, I prefer to do this way.
Okay, but we're not going to be your restaurant's not in the desert, so can we get a taste?
I'm not really using it. I'm not really using it every day. Just on a special event and stuff like that. We're doing, I have a black seasoning of a chicken.
I see.
So we do it with chicken.
Nice, nice. It's nice to have a blend of lots of different influences. It sounds like your restaurant brings the East and the West together, and Arabic recipes with modern Israeli recipes.
Yeah, it's not really Arabic. This one with the lamp is Arab flavor. But yeah, it's kind of old style cooking. You know, I'm using a lot of cast iron stuff. We're serving dessert in this poike, you call it, you know? Can you see that?
Pot.
That's a Dutch oven.
A Dutch oven. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm using that. That's like rusty. We don't do plating. We just cut the meat here, actually on this pot. We're cutting the meat, and we serve this, and the waiters go and, you know, put the same cut they put to everybody on the same time. We're just like serving food.
Uh-huh. All right. So what I want to do now, James, do you want to take us? I want to give you guys just a heads up for any final preparation you want to do on. You know,
I'm ready.
You're all right.
Ready to serve whenever you say.
Okay. So James, you want to take us on a quick tour, and then we'll start with Ziv, and you'll be the cleanup batter.
Yes. So while Ziv is prepping his, I'll put my pitas on the grill. I want to put them on now. So
okay.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Sounds
Let me
good.
see if I can I flip the screen? I can. All right, so we're gonna head out here. Let's see. Here we go. This is a prep room for big mixer variety, but we're about to go into the big room. We still have to clean up after the big event, but this is the big smokers.
That's a big smoker.
Yes.
That's how you cook 2,000. What'd you say? 2,000 pounds.
And this is Dustin. He did all the cooking today.
Thanks, Dustin.
All right. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but that's all right. He's wrapping up cooking. There's a big rotisserie smoker. I'm gonna go out back real quick. Let me show you around here. And then, this is still things from the event. See back there? See that? That's the Superdome.
Ah, yeah.
Right there. There's the downtown city of New Orleans. This is the back patio. There's our pig van. There's an outdoor bar. But what I'm gonna do is
Alabama.
What do we look
so we got. All right, here we go. There's a patio.
Oh yeah, sure.
Here's the out sitting. And then we're going inside by the bar. All right. Let me try to make this quick. Stay there. There's big Randy. Randy approved. There's a few trophies.
That's when you have bragging rights, right?
Well, that's from 2 years ago. That was third overall.
Okay.
All right. Right now, we're about to get ready for lunch. So this is the front dining room. We got a few people came in early. And then let me walk you down to the hallway before we go back into the pit room.
So how early is it okay to start eating barbecue?
Whenever it's ready. This is our prep kitchen. That's Donna. She's our GM. Donna. Hold on one second. That's Donna. That's our general manager. There's Doug. All right. Men's room. Chad. Almost done. Prep kitchen. These guys doing stuff in the prep kitchen. And then the lights are off back here, but this is the event space in the back. It's got a bar back here, 2 big TVs, tables, and now we're going back to the room we're in. This is where I film YouTube videos, in this room. This is what I cooked lamb on today. So
nice.
And I'll show you real quick. I mean, this is a Gateway drum smoker. These guys are made in Missouri. Great, super efficient smokers, all wood, all charcoal. And that's it. Let's flip this around. And that's the restaurant.
So I've been assured by Daphne that it's never too early to have barbecue as long as it's fully cooked.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
All right, Ziv. I think we're ready to see what you got and what you made out of James' recipe.
Okay. So I'm taking it out from the smoker. It's already wrapped.
I can see the smoke. I think I can almost smell it.
Yeah, Okay. You don't really need to cut it, okay? It's pulling off itself. This is one ball, two ball. Thank you.
You don't even need a knife at this point, I see.
Yeah. What is the barbecue? Okay, then it's cold. Never mind. So, that's when you asked me, right, James? Like a burger bun. I'm putting some of it. It's really juicy. I don't need to put any mayonnaise on that, I'm supposed to. And some coleslaw.
Yeah, that's a good portion of coleslaw. That's the kind of portion I like.
Yeah, I would go with some spice, but maybe with the crunch from the red onion.
You're guaranteed to spill that all over your shirt. It's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I can do some more.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. We got a thumbs up. James, what do you got on your end?
All right. So what Ziv told me to do here was start off with some pitas. So I'm going to take them off of the smoker. In fact, you guys don't need to see me. I'm going to tilt the camera down. How's that look? Is that good?
That looks
so what Ziv told me to do was grab a pita, cut it in half, and create a pocket, right? Like this?
Yeah.
It's in a way, it's kind of like your sandwiches. So I'm going to put those aside for a second. Grab the lamb. And you can see it, there's juices all through here. Okay? See this right here? And it just comes apart. It shreds apart. Looks really good. Very moist, very tender. And what I'm gonna do is, you see all these juices? I'm gonna put them back into his juices right there. See that? Because I want to do a pulled lamb. And one thing I noticed about it, because they have fat content, when fat's rendered correctly, it gets a little sticky, which is a good thing. Okay, so I'm gonna put the lamb back in there. You see it's just coming right off. It's easy. You see mine's on the bone like this. So pull it all the way off. Look at that right there. That's a great recipe, Ziv. It looks really good.
I can smell it.
So let's get that out there. That's a tendon. I'll pull some of this meat off. All right, so I'm gonna I've got a bunch here. I'm only gonna pull one for the sandwich. So what I'm gonna do is now.
That's right. You can send the rest over to me. That's fine.
Yeah. So what I'm doing now, I'm gonna toss it in the liquid, correct? Then, since there was no salt and pepper inside of the recipe,
now you need to put it.
I'm gonna put a little bit over the top, a little salt, a little pepper, black pepper. Okay. Now, Z, this is one thing in fact, I don't think you told me about this, but I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze a little lemon juice on mine.
Yeah,
little lemon.
That's a good idea.
Okay. And since we're dealing with a smaller pita, all of these toppings, can I just put them on here and then stuff that into the pita? Would that make sense?
You start with the meat.
Okay.
You put it on one side, and then you put some lettuce, some onion. You know, each one puts whatever he wants.
This is a really juicy piece. All right, so look, that's stuffed right there. And on top of that, I've got a little mint.
No,
dried
you
mint.
Put it. Sure. You can take it on the, let's say it like this. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Take the meat for one side. Take the meat for the one side inside the pita. Take the meat down, and then you put the lettuce and everything on top of it. And then you...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, after that, so I could just top it like this, like a sandwich, correct?
Yeah.
I can lay a couple onions over the top. That's too many onions. a couple hot peppers. Okay. And here's the tahini sauce you told me about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
The tahini will give you the lemon that you put.
Yes, sir. And then I'm gonna go a little lettuce over the top. How's that?
That is beautiful.
And some more tahini. There's no such thing as too much tahini.
I got you. I'm gonna put a little more over the top then.
Right.
All right. So it's time to bite it. Correct? Let me take this. I'm gonna pack it down.
What'd he say? Another thumbs up. All right.
Hold on, let me wipe my mouth.
That's right. You both were entitled to enjoy each other's dishes. Everyone that's looking at this is saying it looks amazing. We have a new twist on the old proverb: when life gives you lemons, put it into your tahini, and then put it in your tahini on top of your barbecue you're making this weekend.
Yeah, tahini always goes with the lamb.
Tahini with lamb. So, look, we know that not everybody's got a smoker in their backyard, but certainly Ziv and James, you showed us some of the magic that you do in your restaurants day in, day out. I know this was a tough year for everybody. That's how we got to know each other, from our own home kitchens, sharing recipes, talking to one another, getting to hear our stories and our influences. What you shared with us today and your friendship that has continued through this challenging year is itself a testament to your restaurants, your love for cooking, your love for barbecue, and this idea that we could actually share with each other because that's what friends do. That's how we learn about one another. So I just want to give each of you a chance to share, just your final words and greetings for Memorial Day here, and really to look forward to an opportunity where we can celebrate together and cook together and eat together, the kind of things that we do among friends. So, James, any last words?
I know one thing. I wanted to keep eating that pita. That was unbelievable. I wanted to keep eating and just let y'all talk. Hold on one second. I'll let you guys talk. Steve, that was a great recipe. It was really, really good. A ton of flavor. Like I said, I'm still gonna eat the rest of it whenever we're off, and I have plenty more lamb and plenty more. I have all kind of stuff. I'm gonna share it with the employees too.
Awesome. Yeah. That's a great way to spread the love. Ziv, you're going to share tonight with any of the guests what you cooked up for James?
It's not. I don't have a lot of it, but some, maybe the first 10 of them, they're gonna taste it. I'm gonna tell them what it's about, what's the difference. And I want to say thank you very much. It was an honor to be invited to this, and everybody are more than welcome to look in my Instagram. It's called Hamashana. It's easy to find it in English, and everybody is more than welcome to Israel. We're just about to open the sky. We're done with the COVID, and see you next time.
Fantastic. So remember, if you can be a half hour north of Tel Aviv, you want to check out Hamashana. You want to be at the smoke.
If you're coming to Israel, you want to check
We're coming. You may need
whenever you're coming, you need to check it.
You're going to have to find out from James how you serve 2,000 pounds of meat when we come in large force, because the food looks good. And anyone who's in New Orleans that can look up and see the Superdome knows they're only going to be a few blocks away, 8 blocks away from Central City Barbecue. We want to make sure you come visit James and see if he still has some of that tahini around that he could put on some of the barbecue as well. Great to meet and spend time with both of you guys. Thanks for making this a memorable Memorial Day here in the United States, and to our friends around the world. We will be sharing the recipes. We promise we will send these out. That's because Ziv and James have made them available. We want you all to enjoy Memorial Day weekend and this period where all of us are beginning to come out of our our cabins and our hibernation and being able to celebrate with one another. Do it safely. This coming week on Wednesday, for those of you that join us during the week, you are going to see an amazing new look at the Tower of David Museum in Jerusalem. We promise to show you. We know you've seen it from the outside if you've been to Israel. It's an incredible, incredible site and place to tour. We will be taking you with the architects that have gone underground and created new things to see under the Tower of David. Please be with us. Have a safe weekend, everybody. Enjoy the great recipes that are coming your way. And thanks to all of you from America Israel Friendship League.
Hey guys, thank you.
Smoke on, guys.